My name is Mark Willingham. I'm the Managing Director of Schiller LLC, United States, and really it's a pleasure to come and be part of this event and hear what other companies are doing. It's very exciting. So many companies continue to innovate and bring new things to the market. We're in a tough year right now where investment issues are shifting and changing, but certainly long term we see great opportunities. I'm going to follow a similar path, introduce Schiller Automation, talk a little bit about a couple of innovations or things that we think we do differently, and some examples of that, and have a chance to go through those, and then invite you to our booth as well. So Schiller is a German-based company located in Sonnenbühl near Stuttgart. We're a private company. We're very comfortable working with Tier 1 companies. We do this across many, many industries, but we understand that it is the large providers and producers who will have the ability to succeed in this market. That's the place that Schiller does the best. Of course, we have a global service network, and we are located, as others are, throughout the world, particularly the areas of the most activity. I like to start off, instead of just talking about markets that we provide into, but talk a little bit about core competencies, because I think that gets to the important base of what's going on in many companies. For Schiller, and I'll highlight a couple areas in a second here, but we really look to maximize value through high throughput. We try to, as you can increase throughput in any process, you significantly lower the costs. That is our end of it, handling logistical concepts and whatnot. So we're able to, we think, bring great value. We've always been a company that's been called in when the handling was difficult, whether it's ever thinner glass, string ribbon cells, things that represented a unique difficulty or capability was required to handle them. Obviously, we've been heavily involved in automotive industry, where the integration of test and the maintenance of that data has been commonplace. We've brought this to PV and others. And I think something that separates Schiller is our ability to work with the dispense of new chemistries and new chemicals. And we're going to see more and more and more advanced chemistry coming to PV, and already is doing so. And I'm going to highlight a little bit how we handle that. So that's brought us into several markets. Certainly we're very active in PV thin film. At Schiller, we're actually not taking a rest at all in this market. We have active fab installations going this year and next year in the area of thin film. I'm going to highlight a way in which we've approached some things differently, and we think is helping us quite a bit. We're working now on our 12th full fab automation process. Obviously crystalline as well. Certainly for us, the production of modules, whether they be thin film or crystalline, doesn't matter much. We're agnostic to technology, so all of the places where we add value in module production would work equally well for a thin film or a crystalline module. Outside of PV, we're very much involved in other areas, including LED, OLED, from luminaire assembly all the way to some of the more upstream processes. We work with battery technologies, both sodium metal hydrate and lithium ion, of course. Also, Schiller was really founded in the automotive industry. We continue to be very active there, and we're continuing to have a very strong business in that sector, which is similar to some of the companies. I think it's important for equipment companies to be diversified, not just across with a number of tools in one market, but across many markets, so that you can survive ups and downs and have counter-cyclic business elements. And then, of course, custom automation. We work very closely. Many of our tools started as custom work, so we maintain a group that focuses on people's custom needs in a variety of different markets. So obviously a major issue in solar, we all know, is the scale. Companies are at scale, and it's managing that growth both from a quality standpoint and the ability to ramp new fabs or ramp new ideas, bring in new processes. It's important that we all try to focus on minimizing downtimes and ensuring that the throughput that's expected to cover the equipment in the fab is running properly. So we have some new concepts. As I mentioned, we're very active right now. The fabs are getting bigger and bigger. I'm going to highlight some aspects of one of our thin film offerings. One of the things that we do, of course, you can look at automating a process flow in different ways, whether it is a batch type concept more a cluster type concept or an inline serial. So the bottom is inline serial, where you have a series of production tools set up in line, and you simply automate the flow of product between them. It's a little more complicated when you have a batch process, where you're trying to allow many process tools to share the handling systems. Obviously, this top we're going to talk about in the hybrid, where we have both of these. You're able to start off the production to ensure that your process is running smoothly, and then easily and significantly add capacity throughout the growth of the fab. One of the things that is very unique about our central handling system at the top of the page is the ability to do something called dynamic buffering. Now, dynamic buffering allows, if you consider the flow of the product through the fab, and then of course, as happens unexpectedly, some problem with a process tool or tools creates an interruption in the flow. With dynamic buffering, immediately the system, without any operator intervention, begins to buffer automatically at that point. Because we're using the central area to do the buffering, we're not really limited by any local buffering size. So you have time to grow buffer space. Obviously, it's not preferred to do so, but depending on the severity of the takedown, it may be required to fill more buffer. Now, once the production is restored, you can start to draw from the buffer. And then even if you have another production problem at a different place, you can begin to draw down the earlier buffers and create space in the central area for the new problem. So this is very key, that this happens without any operator intervention. The system will just automatically handle this and ensure that the people in the fab can focus on fixing the problems. Again, back to production. Another thing, sticking with thin film, and in spite of the pressures on thin film that we all recognize, given the price drops in the crystalline market, there's continued to actually be quite significant investment in the thin film world. GE has come in with the new CAD-TEL process. There's been quite a bit of, in the United States in particular, private equity money continuing to flow into thin film technologies. But one of the problems is, because they're inherently automated from the beginning, it's often difficult to create the flexibility to add process steps later. So this shows an idea where even in the flowing factory, you can use just available space to add a process step at any location and test it, and then later it can find its way into the replacement location. Again, so utilizing the central buffer, you can even ultimately locate a new process step or a new process tool at a place that's different from its point in production. So this creates a tremendous amount of flexibility that's built in to the future. We allow our fabs to grow and evolve as the process continues to change. Of course, the combination, marrying the inline with a batch type concept, we do both at the beginning or the end of a fab, but also at different steps throughout the fab, where we marry the batch together with inline steps and then back to batch. So one of the other things I want to talk about briefly is our approach to innovation. I think innovation occurs, we all get a chance to look at the same thing, but sometimes other people can think differently about it. And I think as we look at the problems facing the industry today, one of the things at Schiller we try to maintain is a real marriage between us as the equipment supplier, working directly with people at bringing new materials to market, and the module producers who are ultimately in need of the innovation. I want to highlight a couple areas where we've done so. To Schiller, we recognize well what our core competencies and our capabilities are, and we look for opportunities where companies that bring other things to market can work together with us. And together, we believe that a strong partnership creates stronger products. A couple of examples of that are both with the materials companies. With Merck, we've worked on edge isolation, metal wrap-through, automation, new tools that allow the advanced chemistries produced by Merck to be used in high volume production. And similarly with Henkel, as they create and innovate new adhesives, those are only of value if they can make it to production in volume in large scale fabs. And of course we have other significant partnerships that we do that with as well. That's a quick run through just a couple of things. I'll invite you as well to us. Schiller's located at Hall E5, which is about 64 miles in that direction, stand 538. So please, if I haven't answered anything, please come find us.